Not that bad in here. What's it say? It's 50 degrees in here.
Not even 49 now. It went up. Oh, okay. We had it on for 10 minutes, so it went up 1 degree. It's a real good heating system you have here. Okay.
Go ahead, do your intro.
Good afternoon, everyone. This is Dr. Kazoo, WKAZZO, and the Weather Network. Well, lately, folks, we have not been on the air. If you probably have noticed, you haven't heard from us for a while. We haven't been really doing too many weather forecasts here, but what's going on, like we told you before in past weather segments, we do have a rip in the magnetic core around the Earth, that's why your weather is unbelievable in some places and other places all around the country. It's different. What was it in California? They just had recently, within the last week or so, probably 10 inches of rain or more. They were supposed to hit the West Coast there. Stuff, it's weird. With that rip, things are going to happen. Heard one winter weather forecast for the East Coast saying there's going to be in January and February there's going to be a high pressure out in the Atlantic are stalling, and all these storms are going to come up the coast. Well, usually that's what does. That's not really, well, it is just a forecast that happens every year. I don't want to criticize, but it's not really, the man only told you what happens every year. But I think things are going to be a little bit different. On the 21st, 22nd of this month, some people will talk about the planets lining up. Yeah, they actually are supposed to. They've been lining up for a long time. That's another thing that's been affecting the weather for a long time. Places are getting very severe tornadoes and hurricanes and earthquakes and stuff, which we did forecast that about a year or so ago when we did the forecast. We said all this stuff was going to happen. So we were 100% accurate on that part of it. Yeah, we were. It started, we had some real bad tornadoes this year and hurricanes and stuff like that. And when Hurricane Sandy came, that was one of the worst. And we said that was about a year or so ago. We said that was going to happen, that they were going to eventually start, these hurricanes and tornadoes were going to get a lot worse than they did. Now the winter forecast, I'm like up in the air with it because, yeah, up in Canada and places like that, it would be cold, the South. But here we have a shift in the North Pole and the South Pole. So, expect it. Where you live in the snow belt areas, could expect a lot of snow. Some places, one forecaster I heard at the beginning of the summer forecasted that a winter forecast west wasn't going to see that much snow, and it's already snowed in Colorado and places out west like that already. So that guy, doesn't really do good to predict it. Forecast. I believe I was most accurate like 2 years in a row when I did it, and a year I predicted how many hurricanes were going to hit the East Coast. There was I think 2 or 3. I hit it right on the money. Everybody else predicting 5, 10, 11, 12, but we got that. But expect it, on the East Coast, January and February, you may see a couple big storms coming. In the West, you're going to see snow. It's just going to be different all through the United States. It's like a repeat performance that you hear every year from all the forecasters. Yeah, you live in areas where it usually snows, it's going to snow. Warm, hot, but tornadoes are going to be in the scene. Okay, now. One final thing, the 21st this month, the planets are lining up, which we said. Now that's the end of the Mayan calendar. And everybody predicts there's going to be a lot of big changes. Yeah, very, very well. That's why I'm not really giving too much of a winter weather forecast, because of what's going to happen on the 21st and 22nd with the Mayan calendar ending and all the planets lining up. And like we said, they started to line up already. They've been lining up for a while, but they're going to be merged together into one around that time period. At least that's what the Mayan calendar states. And if it does, that could really have an effect on your weather. Places, but I question it this year, all these winter forecasts, because of this lining up. Because you got to see what's actually going to happen. If you go month by month and see what it actually does on these 2 dates, the 21st and 22nd, when they claim all this is going to happen. Some people say it's going to be the end of the world, but you never know. But what did crack me up this time was everybody paid so much to our election. I'm not going to say 100% it's going to happen because I'm not committing myself to it. I'm just going to give you a general idea. Expect it. You could see a lot of power outages over this. Could see earthquakes out of this. You may see nothing out of this. You might see total communications in your broadcast. You might have the TV on and all of a sudden there's no picture on it. Over the screen because something could happen over it up in space with the NASA and the corporation setups. You know, it could interrupt with that. Everybody have a good day and happy Weather Day to you. This is Dr. Kazoo signing off for WKAZZO.